Hello and welcome to Technocracy Reloaded, Episode 3, CCC. That's, what does CCC stand for, Sater?
I don't know.
You don't know?
What is
Off the top of your head? It's, what is it? It's, contain...
I don't know. It's been 8 months since I looked at that.
Containment, compensation, and I don't know. Maybe the last part's like coercion or explosion.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, it's been 8 months since I wrote that section. So
it's in Technocracy Reloaded, which you can pick up right now on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter's almost over. Yeah, we don't have much time left. It's 40 hours left. There is another novella stretch goal that just unlocked, so that'll be 4 novellas if we can get up over 180,000. So I highly recommended it. Oh yeah, thank you, Ian. CCC is obviously community created content, which you'll be able to also do on the Storyteller's Vault, like Sater just did with Mage Made Easy. You should go pick it up right now if you haven't.
Thank you.
So before we get on too many tangents, as we are wont to do, let's dive right into the action. Last session, you had all gotten together for coffee and pie with your manager, and your discussion was interrupted when Agent Smith showed up, rather rudely, unannounced, and wearing parts of some sort of a serpentine creature, and was pursued by a pair of sort of alien style beings that you managed to dispatch. Agent Smith was screaming warnings and sort of nonsensical, almost gibberish, and you were all trying to manage the public, which you successfully did without anyone being injured. But Agent Smith disappeared in the process. However, Managing Agent Wilder was able to recover a Nokia brick phone, or what looked suspiciously like a Nokia brick phone. The kind of thing that perhaps, not quite Zach Morris proportion phone, but close to it. And pass that along to Agent Higa to sort of try to crack that open and see what you can find. You had...
Crack that phone!
Exactly. You had rushed out of the place after ensuring everyone was safe, managed to correct some memories using the headlights of Agent Wilder's car, and
making them think it was an interactive experience. Thank you so much, Agent Johnson.
Latency, 3 dots. Heck yes.
Exactly. And then you all sort of fell back into the into Martha's diner, where you had seen Agent Smith disappear. Does that sound about accurate to all parties concerned?
Mm-hmm.
Affirmative.
And Abby is here, by the way.
Abby is here. Abby is here and with us, yes?
And with the Technocracy Reloaded screen behind her, no less.
Well, more specifically, Dr.
You know, I'm still kind of figuring that out right now. Okay?
All right.
This is all kind of daunting. I've never been out in the field before, so I'm like, you know, a
little freaked out about it.
A little freaked out.
Understandable.
It's a hell of an introduction.
It was. Thank you. That's not normal.
Nothing quite like hitting the ground running. So, Agent Higa, you were going to try to crack that phone, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you like to go about doing so?
Well, data science is one of my specialties. So
excellent.
Although I could also use an enhanced procedure. Let's use an enhanced procedure. This is important data.
Okay. What would you like to do to how would you like to approach your enhancement of this hack?
So what we'll want to do first off is to make a complete duplicate of the data, so that if anything happens during the decryption process, we still have the original. So we're going to be working entirely on a virtualized device that is filled with the data that I'm going to extract directly out of this phone. Once positioned there, I'm going to go ahead and run relatively standard decryption algorithms with the hope that that's going to be good enough in this process. If not, then we can always go ahead and accelerate the process and take it to the next level.
Excellent. And do you have, sphere-wise, you have data, correct?
I have data 3.
Excellent. That should be enough to address this, no problem. So I believe making a raw duplicate of that data would just be a data 2 procedure. So I'll let you go ahead. Where are you putting the duplicate, I guess would be the question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you want to store the duplicate?
It's going to be on my laptop. It's going to essentially pull my laptop out and then plug the phone in, and then inside my laptop I'm going to create a virtual copy. So it's going to work like the phone's physical characteristics would, as well as the operating system and whatnot. It's going to mimic the specifications as best as I'm able to replicate them.
Cool.
So it's basically going to live inside of a protected area of my laptop's hard drive.
I love it. Go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll. That's going to be difficulty 5. And your successes on this roll will act as a bonus when you use your actual like computer and technology skills to crack into it.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me that enlightenment at 5, please.
All right, and does my specialty kick in or not? Because this is an enlightenment roll.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm asking because I have a 10. Okay.
Absolutely.
So then 3 successes.
Excellent. All right, go ahead and then give me a, what would we say here? Probably intelligence tech? Intelligence computer? Let me see a skill
Intelligence
set.
data science within computers.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that at difficulty 8. You've overcome the procedures, the counter procedures on the device, and have an additional net 2 automatic successes on this check. So try not to botch.
Well, with that difficulty, it's a whole lot of 6s and 7s, but there's an 8 and a 9 there, which will give me 4 successes.
So on the phone, you find that it's almost entirely corrupt data. It looks like, as near as you can tell through some hodgepodge of hot shotting in the field and enlightened procedures, parts of this phone's capability were cannibalized over time and used to create other enlightened devices, perhaps, used to power other devices, perhaps. The only thing that effectively still functions is the voice recorder app, which has a laughably short memory. But in that laughably short memory is a single file.
Anyone with a Bluetooth headset or any other remotely connected headset that I can control from here, please plug it in and you can listen in.
You want to just play it through the car stereo?
It's like everybody sit in the SUV and listen.
Oh, I assumed that I had already hacked everyone.
I mean, Agent Johnson's like, yeah, you want to see my phone? Sure, yeah. Here you go.
This can certainly go through everyone's headsets as well. Whatever you feel is most thematically appropriate for you.
Yeah, through everyone's headset. Why not?
All right. You hear the following.
Agent Smith, voice log, day 8422. The limited memory of my device requires me to re-record this every day, or at least what I'm hoping is every day. Time functions strangely here. It I don't know if it's linear, and it's become less so. Okay, I have a limited amount of space, so I need to be succinct. In fighting the cyst, I was able to ensure my survival. I think mainly out of luck, more than anything. But I landed in what I can only assume is the deep universe. The area I'm in appears to be able to sustain human life. I wouldn't say it's non-hostile, but I have managed to slay one of the native inhabitants here, which I believe are extra-dimensional entities. Zigglether. I hunted one, and I realized when I wounded it based on a wound that I inflicted in the combat and recognized as a scar from our first meeting, that I had already faced it earlier. That clued me into the fact that these things seem to exist outside of linear time. So I trapped one. Long process. Don't even remember exactly what I did, but I trapped it, and I used life procedures to merge my pattern. I used life procedures to merge my pattern with its pattern, at least enough. I believe I can draw from its extra-dimensional qualities and hopefully make it home. As I make my way back to the front lines, I get the distinct impression that whatever the cyst sprung from is following me. I've come too far to abandon the quest to get home. I can only hope that the Union has made enough strides in my absence to ensure the cyst can't reopen. If it does, the cyst leads to somewhere really bad. There are horrific things out here. If somehow this gets to you and I don't, you gotta close that thing. And you gotta close anything connected to it. You follow what I'm saying, dude?
That is the file. So clearly you can determine a few things from it. I know a couple of our players are listening offline because they weren't able to listen direct. But there are...
Am I cleared to know this?
Who are you asking that? Asking Agent Wilder?
Yes.
Well, no.
I can flashy thinking myself right now.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't. That will probably reduce your effectiveness in the mission going forward. But
so would you say that I have interim access to this information?
Sure. That's fair.
Okay. I'll put this away then.
So we have a problem or two, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
I would like each of you to go ahead and give me a perception empathy roll, if you don't mind.
Session what?
Perception empathy.
Got it.
Difficulty?
Oh
6.
no, not perception, empathy. My one weakness. How did you know?
3 successes on my end.
So if I don't have empathy,
And you just roll your perception.
It just makes you a technocrat. Yeah, you just roll your perception.
either are very antisocial.
That too.
1 success because ones are jerks. Ones
That's fair.
steal my dice.
What's the
Please
difficulty?
don't throw me into that brat pack.
6.
6. Zero
good.
success.
Wonderful. And Drew?
1 success.
Excellent. All right. So, Agent Green, you notice Agent Wilder's looking directly at you. And you see there's a depth of emotional reaction you've never seen on his face before. He looks sad and worried, and definitely frightened. And you also pick up on this, Marks, this sort of sense of foreboding and fear, and that he's definitely, for whatever reason, locked on Agent Green. Those of you who got 1 success, just notice Agent Wilder tensing up. It's hard to read exactly what the cause is. Probably that this horrible message you just heard. But who could say? And Doctor, you're still like, that was from outer space? Like, what?
Messages from space.
Yeah, exactly. So,
David,
yeah.
I won't ask you if you're all right, because that's a stupid question. What can we do to help?
Well, my guess would be that whatever those things were inside the diner were probably whatever followed Agent Smith back here. The very things he was warning about, yes?
As a void engineer, should I get a chance to roll to figure out what the heck those things were?
I believe you did roll to figure out what the heck those things were last session, and you had heard rumors of threat null.
Okay, cool. I can't remember. I had to go Google up threat null, so it's like, wait a second, this is a void engineer thing. I should know this. Okay.
Yeah, if I recall properly, he says. So, that means we need to address it as though it was breached. We need to go make sure that the physical location where we last knew it existed is secure. And if it's not there, then we need to find out wherever it is opened and address it.
There's also the concern that if the breach occurred and we have pulls up a hefty bag full of person, that these entities are wandering around in our space, then we're going to need some way to track them down in case they're not all conveniently located in some place. I mean, it would be great if they're all located in one place and we could just deal with them all at once, but
I have a fairly strong suspicion that we won't need to track them down at all.
Yes, I suspect they'll be coming to us very, very soon.
well, that's very convenient.
Well, they probably already have. They already have twice.
Well, I guess we'll need to find somewhere with a working fire alarm. Martha,
She's kind of staring off into space still.
Martha.
Yes, dear.
Your building's not up to fire code.
Huh, I just had that looked at.
I point to the fire switch.
Yeah, she walks over and starts kind of inspecting it a little bit. I just had the inspectors in here last week. This should have worked.
Well, I'll see about calling you someone. I'm sorry about the inconvenience.
That's fine. She sort of wanders back behind the counter, still looking confused. Wilder says, "Don't worry. She's had her memory
I know what happened to her memory.
edited once or twice before." So.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Well, this used to be where we came all the time when we wanted to get away from the stuff shirts, so as you might imagine, once in a while things would get a little out of hand. Not quite this far out of hand. But you do what you do. Agent Higa, I need you to go ahead and give me a perception and alertness roll. Yeah, just Agent Higa first.
Difficulty?
Your difficulty will be 6. Let's do 6, yeah.
1 success.
You notice that the bag is slightly lighter. The 2 bags are slightly lighter than they were when you filled them.
These entities' remains aren't stable. I have less mass right now than I used to. If we're going to take samples, which we should
do that quickly.
I'm going to need to get to a lab or to equipment very quickly.
Okay.
Not reasonably quickly. I'll have to figure out exactly how long this will take for them to completely evaporate based off of what's going on. But in the meantime, let's go get equipment.
Well, here's the thing. We need to make sure we're not letting anyone else back at the construct know what happened here.
So are there any nearby facilities that are off the radar?
Like a mothball, from, I don't know, like the ancient 80s.
I got a associate might have some stuff.
Well, if you can send me the directions, I can take Agent Higa there quickly.
Yeah, why don't y'all do that? I think the rest of us should head over to Family Land and check out the wave pool.
Okay.
When you say it like that, it's just not nearly as fun.
The head to Family Land.
Is that code for going to the bathroom?
I wouldn't recommend going to the bathroom in the wave pool, and they got to shut it down and shock it.
Okay.
Agent Wilder reaches under his coat, pulls out a business card, and hands it to you, Marks. And
okay.
on the address for the business card is the Great Gandolfini, stage performer extraordinaire. You recognize that it's one of the shows that's on the Dell side of the strip, the stage magician.
Interesting. Take it to him.
Yeah, he should be able to help you out.
All right.
Just maybe lead with, "I'm sorry." Just tell him David says he's sorry and needs a hand.
Okay. Will do. I'm going to put the coordinates into my into my phone. So, Agent Higa, shall we? And head to the fastest one. Are these all the same type of car?
Yeah, they're all just sort of the standard issue Spectre sedans.
Head to a Spectre and get going. And drive as quickly and as efficient as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Sure. Yeah, you go zipping through town. It's not too bad. It is tourist season, summer days, so once you get in up to the strip, things slow down a bit. But you do notice though that the traffic seems to almost part when you need it to, and the lights seem to switch when you need it to. It's just
Okay.
a fortunate day. That's it.
Fortunate day, and being as some of the things that I've learned over my short but eventful life, but also know about the way to get the other line, the one that's the access to which most people don't even know exist, but the rich expect.
Mm-hmm. Excellent, absolutely. Yeah. So are you going to are you going to use that knowledge on your way there, or just when you arrive at the?
Both. If
Okay.
there are back ways around the Vegas Strip, being as given who Mark's used to be, I figure she's probably spent some time around here before, so would know the area better than a GPS or a casual tourist would. And as far as when we reach the destination, use the right words with the right people.
Sure. Yeah,
to get
absolutely.
access.
Are you going to enhance that with any adjustments, or
Oh,
are you-
yeah.
Excellent. What would you like to employ?
That would just be little pushes of mind here and there when necessary.
All right.
Finding the right people, parking the car in the right, getting the car to the right people to make sure that the car doesn't go anywhere. Getting the right access to him immediately, that sort of thing.
And do you have any correspondence as well?
No.
Okay. And do you have any entropy as well, or are we relying strictly on mind? Okay.
Yeah, no,
Go
it's
ahead.
strictly on mind.
Go ahead and give me a enlightenment. It's gonna be difficulty 5.
Okay. 2 successes, 7 and 8.
Beautiful. Yeah, you find your path super efficient. You're able to get in real easy, and when you get up to the door, you do see there's a couple of like stagehands out back having a smoke, but you, with just a wink and a nod and a here to see Gandolfini, are able to glide right past them. I'll get back to that in just 1 second. The rest of you who are still in Linden Station, what would you like to do? Are you going to head to Familyland?
Yep.
Any stops on the way? Anything you would like to do on the route there?
Ice cream.
I mean, we just had pie.
Are
You
you
can-
going to say no to ice cream?
You can grab.
Because I could just drive past the ice cream parlor right now.
I mean, I'm actually kind of okay. I mean, meanwhile, he literally probably still has like a plate of like whatever was still on the table.
All right.
That said, Agent Johnson does. Well, and this is more my question. Is it possible that Agent Johnson might be able to, with his 2 dots of dimensional science and 2 dots of matter, possibly stabilize whatever weird goo Agent Higa had before they left?
You can certainly try.
Cool.
Go ahead and give me a enlightenment roll. That's going to be that's going to be difficulty 6. It's going to be vulgar without witnesses.
Cool.
And what are you going to do to try to stabilize this matter? What sort of a
Well, I was thinking about rearranging some atoms with my handy dandy little finger guns and be like, I'm sure this is going to be fine. Let me just make some little tweaks.
like a spoken like a true void engineer. Hold on, before you leave. Go ahead and roll that vulgar without witnesses, and you may have a point of paradox for doing so.
Sure. Though it'll probably be a little bit more than the one with the botch there.
Oh, awesome.
Well, Don't botch my evidence.
I was gonna say, like, Agent Higa is gonna be pouting the entire drive. Agent Johnson is so in trouble.
So you take 3 points of paradox, and nothing happens.
Sure, cool.
You continue on your way. You continue on your way to Familyland.
Yep.
When the group heading to Familyland, you arrive basically about the same time. They got a couple of minute head start, but you're a couple minutes closer. So as you pull up to Familyland, parking lot is full. It is bumper to bumper, shoulder to shoulder. You're assuming probably a crowd of about 15 to 20,000 people in the park overall.
Terrible social distancing.
Yeah.
As you walk up, Wilder just flashes his wallet, and they sort of step aside and let you all in.
Rank hath its privileges.
David, do you really think this is the time
To do what?
to look at the wave pool while there are 15 to 20,000 witnesses here?
To be fair, it is under the wave pool.
Do you have a better? You know how we're going to clear this place out?
Come back at night.
I don't know that we have until night to wait.
Oh, you could pee in it. Oh, that wasn't me.
Great.
I mean, if you want to take the risk, we can.
No? Lead on, my captain.
You continue walking in, and the wave pool is just outside of visible when you walk in through the sort of ticker that you walk in as you go into the park proper. And you'll see like there's like a concession stand. They have cotton candy, things along those lines. There's a little booth over to the side where you can throw baseballs at pop bottles to try to win prizes. And there's a wave pool that's got probably 100 people in it. David sort of takes off his sunglasses and wipes the lenses a little bit, and pops them back on, starts looking real hard at the wave pool. Are anyone else who is there going to be using any sort of procedures or adjustments?
I am sure going to be looking real hard at that wave pool with my mind of 3.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a. Are you just?
You know what?
Are you trying to
look through the phone's filter?
Are you trying to like deep probe thoughts, or are you just reading surface thoughts?
I'm just reading surface thoughts.
All right. Go ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll at 5. We're going to rule that coincidental because you're really just sort of getting emotions off of people's body temperatures and breathing rates and things along those lines. It's believable. Sure, why not?
And I'm holding out my phone as though I'm
Right.
like a video or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah,
Excellent.
come on. Frickin' roll. 1 success.
Excellent. And did you say something, Drew?
I was going to say, likewise, since I might as well, like, following. Oh, yeah, good idea. Get the phone out. Because, I mean, we are talking about some weird dimensional entities. So, using basically the same kind of thing, just see if there's any kind of readings of, oh, the cyst is going to open right there, or some such, maybe even locate a weak point in the gauntlet.
Sure. Go ahead and give me that's just going to be dim sci 1, so give me enlightenment 4. And then anything the doctor is doing.
I think that she is pretty much observing everything right now. She doesn't really have any major technical abilities. I mean, she knows computers, but but that's about it. So I don't think that there seems to be anybody else hurt.
Go ahead and give me a perception and alertness roll for the doctor, if you don't mind. Difficulty 6. And
As long as I don't fail again.
excellent. You got 0, no botches, Drew?
No botches.
Let me see. Perception. And you said alertness?
That's correct.
Okay. Oh man. I got 1.
Yeah, 1 success. Okay.
Yeah.
This is good.
So you're sweeping
Wait, what
the
was the failure? The failure was what?
difficulty was 6.
Yeah. I got 1.
All right. So Agent Johnson's sweeping the area with the phone. Nothing. Agent Green, as you're looking up, you can see that the people themselves seem to be generally enjoying themselves, right? They're having fun. They're, it's a summer day. They're in a nice, cool wave pool. It's a fun time. Yay. You notice like a kid that's scared, but not like at a level that you would
like
not
a
expect. Right. Like scared, like a little nervous, not like existentially terrified. However, you do get a unidentifiable psychic impression from the water in the wave pool itself. As if it is thinking. Now, Doctor, you notice someone get taken out of the corner of the wave pool by a lifeguard. And they seem to be addressing like a leg cramp or something like that. That's really the only thing that jumps out to you.
David.
He says, yeah?
A leg
Cool
cramp?
thinking.
What am I thinking? I think we need to get everybody out of that pool.
No, the pool. The pool is thinking. I don't like when the pool is thinking, David. I don't like that. That's not protocol.
That is unusual. You hear a loud snap and screaming kind of behind you and over to the side.
Oh no.
One of the attractions at this water park is a pirate ship. Seats about 200 people, and it swings back and forth up to about almost a 90-degree angle with the ground. And you can see it mid-swing sort of pop and it looks like it's going to come off of its holding.
Oh.
Do
Wouldn't
any
it
of
be-
us have matter?
Okay, so question, because in Awakening I know exactly what I would do, but this is Ascension.
Sure.
Can I mess with gravitational and or momentum with forces?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, that's
but
exactly what.
yes, absolutely. So Forces 2 would let you slow it down.
Cool. I have forces 3. I don't know if that helps me any, but yes, I basically want to engage the brakes at a distance.
Okay.
And
Or
just
you
whatever emergency brakes this thing totally has, because safety, right?
All right.
I have-
Go ahead.
I have crafts.
That would help if you were able to get up and start working on it, or to use as a focus.
Darn it.
But you can certainly start running that direction, if nothing else, to start putting people back together. If Agent Johnson blows this roll, go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me a enlightenment roll. The brakes catch slowing it down enough that it doesn't completely break. That's coincidental. So go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll, difficulty 5.
Is there any way I can assist with my forces of 1?
Yeah, I see no reason why you wouldn't be able to sort of coordinate your efforts, especially if you're using like your ES phone network.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll allow that. So both of you go ahead and roll enlightenment at difficulty 5.
I'm helping. Important note about Technocracy games, kids. Always help your fellow agents.
It's mutual.
It's mutual.
So how does her helping? It doesn't affect my die pool.
Nope, they're treated as separate dice pools.
Okay, cool. So I got the 1 on a 5. Thank you.
Oh, one success, not a 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. 1 success.
Zip.
Good, because I was going to laugh real hard.
I did not botch though.
Like that was about to be not my day.
I haven't spent a willpower yet. I'm going to spend a willpower to get an automatic success.
Okay. So this thing swings forward, and you heard that initial pop, and you hear like this grinding of gears as it sort of juts out at about a 30-degree angle from its normal arc of movement, and slams back into place, dropping limp at the bottom of its sort of pendulum swing. People are screaming, freaking out. And you see the lifeguards start getting people out of the pool. Everybody who's present there, go ahead and give me another perception and alertness roll. This time it's going to be difficulty 7.
Perception alertness or perception awareness?
Alertness. You can do awareness as well, but you'll just be noticing different things. So pick one and let me know which one you'd like to roll.
Well, I have awareness and not alertness, so I'll do that one.
Okay.
Oh, that's much better. 4 successes on my alertness.
Beautiful.
I'm spending another willpower just so I have the automatic success already.
Okay.
So I have 3 successes with my willpower success.
Excellent.
I have 1 success with alertness.
All right. So as the two of you are looking around that rolled alertness, you can see that there seem to be several incidents happening almost in like succession. The ride broke, the person getting pulled out of the wave pool. You see someone, kid, probably 12, 13, crying at the bottom of one of the water slides, and the lifeguard like waving like to shut it down. And it starts to look like there's an awful lot going on here, possibly even enough to stretch the bounds of coincidence. Now, for Agent Green, it's much like the moment of realization in a Final Destination film for you. Like you just get this sensation that this entire park is starting to conspire to throw everybody out, and there's a malignant intelligence at work. And it's very obvious to you. You've got the worst feeling you've ever had about anything you have right now about standing in this area.
Great. I love it when pools think. It's my favorite. All right. So Agent Green's going to take off her blazer and is going to neatly fold it and put it on a chair.
Okay.
And is going to wade into the wave pool.
All right. Agent Wilder grabs your wrist as you start heading that direction and says, "Don't do that."
How am I supposed to yell at it if I can't be in the wave pool?
You don't understand. You can't go in there. It can be anybody else, but not you.
I
Gaston.
didn't know here, David. What? No. What? No.
He says, "What? Can you facilitate communication for Agent Green? Go in there and let her link up with you so there's a filter." Is that a problem, Agent Green?
No one blinks like Gaston. No one gets in the wave pool and sinks like Gaston.
Have the whole freaking Pirates of the Caribbean moment.
Right, there you go. He says, yeah, Agent Wilder says, "Is that a problem, Agent Green?"
No, sir.
Gaston says, "Don't worry, it'll be fine," and pats you on the shoulder and turns and starts walking into the wave pool.
Get her fucking come back out of that wave pool.
"I'll be all right." And that's where we'll leave you all for a moment. Over at the Great Gandolfini's, which is across the way and up the strip a little bit, you're let in back. and you go to a dressing room, and it looks like, now you're fairly certain this building was built sometime in the 80s or 90s, but for the life of you, it looks like this hasn't been painted, touched up, or possibly cleaned since the 40s or 50s.
Oh.
It's just like a rundown, ratty back hallway full of like tarps covering various sort of stage, what you're assuming are stage implements and gear. There's a layer of dust on kind of everything, and the star on the door is like decolored, but you can sort of barely make out the Great Gandolfini written on it.
Okay, since there are so many potentially dangerous things / spaces and the size of the space and so forth, I'm basically, as we walk down it, just trying to size it up for potentially if I need to fight here, what kind of space am I, what kind of dimensions am I looking at? What sorts of things can I either use to my advantage, or will I need to watch out for?
Go ahead and give me a perception brawl roll.
Okay. Perception brawl or perception martial arts?
Perception martial arts. Yeah, because that would be your what you would be relying on for the fight. So.
Difficulty? Oh, ow, man!
6.
I botched the shit out of it.
Oh, right on.
I trip over something while I'm looking at these things so intently that I actually trip over something.
Hi, what quaint rustic architecture.
You do catch your foot on the rug, but you also are pretty sure you could pull off a very serious recreation of Rumble in the Bronx in this hallway if you had to.
Which means that I will absolutely fuck it up if I try and do that.
You're confident. You feel good about this plan. You're glad to be a part of it.
That's the 4th botch in 3 game sessions.
I think
what I was saying about I am George.
Yeah, exactly. You're carrying the botch energy forward into the future.
Yeah.
So you arrive at this at the door. You're fairly certain you've got a plan in case anything pops off. Anything that Agent Higa's. I was just asking what Agent Higa was doing, but what were you saying, Sater?
Oh, just saying I'm going to recover my sense of grace and poise as much as possible, having just made an idiot of myself.
Right, straighten out do the Riker maneuver.
To do that.
Yep. Agent Higa, anything before you knock?
To do that.
Not unless I could make a requisition over the phone and get it couriered out.
You could certainly try.
Oh, well, in that case.
What would you like to try to requisition? You can do that on the way there.
The field material analyzer.
Sure, give me a requisitions roll. Difficulty 7.
Drone delivery. Just saying.
2.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want it at your current location?
Yeah.
And is it an emergency?
I'm told it's an emergency.
Okay. We're focusing our GPS on you right now.
Thank you.
All right. So you're standing outside this door.
I'm going to do the just authoritative enough to seem like I should be there, but graciously.
You hear some sort of rumbling in the room a little bit, like movement. Just a second. The guy opens the door. He's about 5'3", tall, about 5'5" wide, just dripping with sweat, wearing like a tuxedo, got the bow tie untied around the sides, hanging loose, balding, hairline starts about here. It's all just sort of wild and dripping with sweat.
That right there is interesting because does he look like he's been doing something physically intensive? Las Vegas casinos and shit are cold.
Right. Well,
Well, we're still
you're still in the Dells, different strip.
Okay.
but
Okay.
but it does look like he's been physically exerting himself.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it is well AC in here because it is summer and it's so yeah, he definitely looks like he's sweatier than the temperature should dictate.
Mm-hmm.
He says, come on in. Can I help you with something?
Oh yes. I think player stumbles over that, not character. Oh yes, Master Gandolfini. Dave says he's very sorry, but he needs your help.
Come on. You're with them? I should have guessed. Shit. He sits down. What is it? What's going
I'll
on?
make sure that we're all in here and then close the door.
He pulls out a cigar and lights it. No, I told him I helped once. I'm not helping again.
Oh, this is a matter of some importance, sir.
Yeah, I bet. I haven't heard a thing. Heard one time I've heard from him in the last 25 years. Once.
Well, times
Mr.
are
Great
hard.
Gandolfini, if it helps you any, would you like some recreational drugs?
Okay, even Marx thinks that's funny.
He says,
Good.
no. What makes you think I do drugs?
I
Po-
didn't.
I'll
I didn't
poison my
say
body
that
with
you
chemicals. He
did.
takes a shot of whiskey. Starts puffing on his cigar some more. Why would I want? What did he tell you? Did he tell you I was with the cult? Is that what he told you?
Oh no,
Figures.
nothing.
You did that.
Nothing.
No, you
nothing
just
like
seem
that.
very stressed, and I'm not licensed as a doctor, so it's not a prescription per se, but I can give you some things to even you out a little bit and
You know,
feel better.
you know what would even me out right now? Like a sandwich and a beer, and not having the Technocratic Union in my freaking dressing room. That would even me
Well,
out
we
quite
can
a bit.
arrange for 2 out of 3 of those things, and I'll. What type of sandwich would you like? I'll pull out my phone and place an order.
He raises an eyebrow and says, "You must be the syndicate rep." All right. So what's going on?
Well, after I place the order, well,
Yeah.
does he tell me what he wants?
And he says, "Give me a pastrami on rye." Sure, why not? He sits
Okay.
down.
So this is going to be one of those syndicate knowledge moments in pulling up what the place that would most likely have the best pastrami and rye in Las Vegas.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, you grab it up. Go ahead. You don't even need. That's not even going to be a roll. You punch it up, and they say they'll be there in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And he says, "So what is it? Why are you here?"
Well, we have, and player has just forgotten what it was that we was it the message or was it the
It was the gear.
it was the gear? Okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to help you with examining the detritus that Agent Heeg is carrying.
Okay. So Dave suggested that you might know what to do with this, and I'll hand it to him. And looking around while talking to him and trying to get a sense for his dressing room. Am I seeing? I'm guessing I'm seeing magician implements.
Very much so, yeah, absolutely. But do you have occult or esoterica?
Not for that. I do have some esoterica, but the specialty's in yoga.
Okay.
It's the specialization is in yoga.
Okay, then yeah,
Uh,
probably nothing leaping out at you.
Does it look like? What does it look like he's been using to get sweaty?
Hard to say. It doesn't look like he's been doing any exercise. There's no machines or anything like that in there. There's
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
even
that's-
particularly heavy.
Okay, so that's interesting. So he's either sweating something out, or and there's no one else in the room, is there?
No.
Okay.
He says,
So,
"Listen, you want me to help with a bag of snot?"
well,
3 bags of snot.
less a matter of helping with a bag of snot, and more a matter of showing your expertise with metaphysical matters. I mean, that is, after all, one of the things that you're best at.
Yeah, that's awfully kind of you. He stands up and grinds out his cigar and says, I'm going to regret this for the rest of my natural life. And he grabs his top hat and sticks his hand in it while the bottom is pointed at the wall, and turns his hand and the wall opens. Pulls his arm back out. After you.
It's so good that Agent Johnson is not there.
Okay,
This is
just
fascinating.
I'll walk in like it's the most casual thing in the world, which of course I'm getting ready to kick something's ass if there's anything to kick.
You walk downstairs and no, nothing to kick the shit out of yet. Well, the first thing you notice that could be a potential target is a 7-foot tall, what appears to be either ape or something in an ape costume, but it has like a fishbowl helmet on. And it's just kind of standing in the corner, and it slowly turns at you as you walk in. The room is entirely filled with Jacob's ladders and Tesla coils and tubes and wires and various implements. You see a very large, as near as you can tell, looks like a beehive that's about 8.5 feet tall, made of metal, with various sort of rings around it, and a gateway that's large enough for one human being to step through. And he says, yeah, don't stand in there. Comes on in.
Oh no, definitely. This is marvelous work. I can
This looks fun.
tell why Dave sent us here.
Yeah, give me some of that goop.
Okay, and I will. Oh yeah, that's right. You've got the bag.
He starts pouring it. He says, you didn't bring much, did you? And it's about a third of the size it was when you first showed up. He starts pouring it into like an actual like funnel, like you would expect to put oil in your car with.
We should warn you, it's temporarily unstable.
Everything down here is unstable. Present company excluded. He starts moving like a crank and stepping on some bellows.
Obvious which tradition he belongs to.
he stops after about 30 seconds and says, is that my sandwich?
I'll go get it.
Thanks. He starts pumping again. You go up and grab the sandwich.
So
Once-
one of
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say what was going on when you get down there, but did you have a question first?
Yeah, well, a combination of assessing his room, the downstairs room, the sandwich, what we've learned from him so far. What are the things this guy would like most, and what is the best way to get and stay on his good side?
You want to do like a mind procedure that's
This, yeah,
based
would
on
be
that?
this would be a combination. This is essentially focusing through a combination of social dominion and or social domination and hypereconomics, art of desire. I want to figure out from the clues that I'm getting about him, basically do the Sherlock Holmes ... This is the best way to get and stay on his side.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll at 5.
Okay. Oh, 2 successes.
Beautiful. So, very obviously, he wants this encounter to end. But more directly, though, it seems you're able to sort of piece together that he seems to have been operating in this area for a long time and have some sort of a existing relationship with David. So your safest assumption would be that he wants that to continue. That there seems to be an unspoken, we stay out of each other's way, and he seems to be very invested in maintaining that status quo.
And speaking of investment, it strikes me as I'm getting the sandwich and coming back down that he would be a good contact to maintain through subtle investments, meaning a little money funneled his way, a few favors, more regular pastrami sandwiches from this place, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, while doing that, I'm thinking about all the ways to keep this guy as a contact for myself, because he's clearly a very useful person to know.
Absolutely. He grabs the sandwich as you walk back in, smiles and says, thanks. Takes a bite out of it and then throws the rest of it into a chute and slams the chute shut, and you hear like popping and banging noises and like a and then a meter sort of fills up with like energy, like as if a battery was just charged off of that. And he says, all right, Agent, I didn't get your name, Agent.
Marks.
Excellent, Marks. Higa, yeah. There's, you see those two displays over there? He points at a pair of like 12-inch black and white screens that have like the turning knobs on them. It says, if you dial those in, you should be able to get whatever information you want. This is full spectrum analysis, top of the line. He kicks it and some smoke sputters out of the side. Top of the line machinery.
Okay. And I'll gesture to Agent Higa. After you, Agent Higa.
Fantastic.
I mean, this would definitely be something you would understand better than I would.
If you'd like, you can utilize this. I'm gonna impose a +1 difficulty because you're using really unfamiliar tech. But if you have a specialty that would offset that, you can apply it. If you have something like, jury rigging or something like that, or an unconventional technology, crackpot theories, I don't know, any sort of specialties like that.
Can't think of one. Like, yeah, no, that I don't think I have anything that would offset it.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll then, if you don't mind. Difficulty 6.
One.
Excellent. What spheres are you, or what sphere would you like to prioritize getting data from?
Probably dimensional sciences. Dimensional science. That seems like the most obvious thing for me to kind of tune into.
Okay. So what you're able to get with from the machine that you don't already know anyway is that this matter is unstable. It is being eroded by the paradox effect. Apparently, it is so alien to the front lines that its very presence, just unbelief, eats it. The normal reality parameters, this stuff isn't going to be able to stay here more than a few hours tops, and you're assuming it's staying as long as it is because it's inert in a Ziploc bag in an enlightened scientist's pocket. If this was up walking around, it would probably have minutes before it melted.
And would just liquefy if anything hit it.
Likely.
Okay.
Does he get what you need there?
I think so. Possibly. I mean, more data is always better.
I mean, that's... Well, here, hang on. He bangs the side of it. Little ticker tape spits out. There's data to go, all you could ever possibly want. It's got like 5 lines of code on it.
What kind of
Fantastic,
code?
thank you.
It's like 5 lines of like binary. He says, I have to get ready for my show. I'm supposed to be on stage in 20 minutes. And
Thank you. We will definitely leave you to your show. Thank you very much, sir. You've been very helpful.
hey, no problem. I hope to hear from you and your fine organization again, 20 some years from now. Take care.
Break
be
as
safe.
many legs as you feel is necessary.
Thanks. I appreciate that, I think.
You out in public.
And, feel free to come by the show sometime, and he hands you each a ticket.
Definitely will. It's brilliant work, sir. It'll be a pleasure to see you work again.
Thanks. You can watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. He has a seat. He says, "Oh, that one." He points over, and there's a white rabbit in a cage. Her name's Alice, because I totally lack originality. Yeah, come see me pull Alice out of a hat. It'll be fun.
That will be fun. Thank you.
Of course.
Flash as winning a smile as I can with a new face.
It's starting to feel almost not uncomfortable to do. And as soon as you step out into the back lot, you hear a whistling sound.
Okay, is that like whistling like, or is that whistling like?
The second one,
Okay.
as like incoming.
I'm gonna push Higa down and basically jump on top of Higa.
Right. You knock Higa to the ground and jump on top of her, covering her body, as a little tube lands next to you on the sidewalk. And
Roll away. Roll away from the tube.
You roll away, the tube opens and folds out into a suitcase-size version of the equipment that Agent Higa has requested.
Oh, good. We're not going to die. Well, not immediately.
Please warn me before you do that again.
You were in the car when I ordered it. Well, you might have been preoccupied with the, interdimensional invaders.
Fair enough. So what did you get?
I got the best field material analyzer. It has frequency analysis, mass spectrometry, and quantum analysis.
Cool.
We got some very fun data from the great Gandolfini, but we're going to have even more from a different source, so we can cross-reference all the data together.
Sweet. Well, let's see what you can do.
And as you're packing it up and getting it ready to either deploy it or move into the car,
Yeah, let's not do this in the alley.
you can sort of hear the distant sounds of the various things going on in the dells, but underneath the sort of din of water parks and summer amusement, you hear a couple things like some sirens, maybe distant screaming.
That
A little
does
hard
not
to
sound good.
a little hard to put your finger on, and I'll get right back to you. So,
Okay.
Speaking of distant screaming, inside Familyland,
Not so distant.
Not so distant.
as you're walking in, or as Gaston is walking into the wave pool, one of the lifeguards walks over and says, "Hey, listen, we're trying to clear the place. You can't go." And Gaston just flicks him in his face. He falls over unconscious.
Agent Johnson will go and collect the body and pull him out of the
He walks in up to his, to being chest deep, and looks back and says, "I don't feel anything."
I know, but
That's good. That's good, right?
Well, I mean, he is covered head to toe in premium countermeasures. So, there could be all sorts of spells going on in there that he's not feeling. Gaston says, "Did you want to connect with my mind?"
I mean, always.
He says, "You may do so. I will not resist."
All right, well, I mind link with my mind.
All right, go ahead and give
I
me...
also have a brain to computer interface, which I am using.
Go ahead and give me a... this is going to be Vulgar Without Witnesses. Go ahead and give me a Enlightenment difficulty 7.
Okay. Don't fuck me up. Don't fuck me up. Applause. Come on. 0 successes. Not a botch, though.
All right, you are trying to connect with him, but there's some strange interference messing with your interface. You can't seem to get a lock on it.
All right, I'll spend a willpower and try again.
Go for it.
Okay, that is 2 successes with the 1 willpower.
Excellent. You get into his surface thoughts, and everything's very organized, neat. You do notice, however, one of his security subroutines appears to have locked up a alien thought process that has attempted to enter his mind.
Can I look at it without unlocking the security process?
You can, yeah. You go over. Are you going to try to unlock it, or are you just?
No, I'm just looking at it.
Give me a. Let's do intelligence, technology, or intelligence, computer, or. It's not really about feelings.
Etiquette?
No.
Okay. Worth a shot.
No,
Etiquette is my single highest stat.
This is straight up technical.
Oh, okay. Hold on, let me pull up my sheet. Yeah, I got a dot of computers. I can do intelligence computers.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I can also do wits computers because my wits is slightly higher.
That might come into play after this intelligence roll, depending on how things go.
What's my difficulty?
6.
Okay. Ooh, 2 successes and one of them's a 10, so I get to re-roll that, right?
Do you have a specialty in intelligence?
I do not.
No.
Okay.
No
So 2
rerolls.
successes.
Yep. All right. So you sort of crack into the subroutine, get past the security, so you can view kind of what's happening. And you see Gaston, or this portion of Gaston's consciousness, is chained with chains that appear to be constructed entirely out of human cartilage and tendons. They're ripped into several portions of his body on the end of hooks that, as near as you can tell, are made from tooth enamel. And he's just sort of suspended in nothingness as these formless creatures are sort of chewing at and peeling away his flesh. And he's just standing stone-faced and repeating over and over again, "I apologize for the inconvenience, but you have been trapped inside of one of my security subroutines. Therefore, I will not be responding to this rather impressive theatrical display of torture."
I will. Nobody fucks around in my robot boyfriend's security subroutines. Better clip that, Hiromi.
All right. Would you like to try to
mind?
All right. Yeah, you're already in there. So if you want to, you want to try to run them off.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Give me a.
I am spending my 4th willpower. I have 6 willpower, so I'm still good.
All right.
But I am spending my 4th willpower for an extra success, and since I'm inside his mind, I'm assuming this isn't really vulgar.
No, in fact, I mean, are you going to use like a a procedure to compel them, or are you just going to use like straight up intimidation?
Oh, I'm gonna blast them to bits because I'm angry.
Oh, okay, excellent.
I am using mind, and I am just essentially headbutting them with my mind.
Yeah, so it'll be difficulty 6.
Cool. I'm very, very angry. Come on.
This is gonna be so much fun.
All right, 2 successes.
All right. You lash out. You hear screeching from the entities as they sort of swirl around one another and reform into a single entity, and they look almost as if they're looking right into your soul. And they say, "Oh, but we've missed you."
Out.
Tell me, it's been so long since I've touched your world.
Get out.
What happens to these beautiful machines when you circumvent their security?
Get out.
Give me another enlightenment check.
Another what?
Enlightenment.
Cool. Two successes.
All right. You shove, it screams. The subroutine collapses on itself. When it does, you see blood squirt out of Gaston's nose, and he stumbles for a half a second and then rights himself.
Hey, you okay?
Everything is functional. While that's happening, Doctor, what are you doing during this exchange?
I'm looking at Gaston, who is this side hustle for a while, and I see blood coming out of their nose. So I want to kind of use my medicine because I have a battlefield first aid kit to like make the bleeding stop.
You're gonna dive into the wave pool?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You hop into the wave pool. Start making your way over toward him. I would like you to make a willpower roll, please.
Willpower?
Yep.
Okay.
Put that in chat, Sater.
So what?
What?
Sater just made up another verse for the Gaston song, and I'm put it in chat.
Okay.
Copy
So
paste.
what is the difficulty?
Yeah.
Difficulty is 6.
Okay, so I have 2 successes.
Okay. As you're stepping in, you literally feel an alien presence sort of chewing on the edges of your awareness.
No, I don't. There's no such thing as aliens.
So you don't have to believe in them; they'll believe in you.
Right. You repeat that to yourself, growing less and less convinced of it with each step as you make your way toward Gaston, where you begin to apply first aid to his nose.
It's just a lot of green jello. That's
Go
all.
ahead and give me an intelligence medicine check, if you don't mind.
Intelligence medicine. Okay.
I have a fun
Okay, so
question.
medicine is 4.
You can do it.
1, 2, 3. Oh my
Believe
god,
in
so
you, let
many.
the aliens believe in you.
Difficulty again is 6 still?
6. Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. Wait.
yeah.
Oh.
1,
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is that you do stop the bleeding.
Yeah, the good news is.
Right.
The bad news is that you realize this isn't just blood. There's a slick, reflective, almost metallic smelling quality to this blood. Like there's something else leaking out from the wound.
Can I examine the blood?
Sure. Go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll.
Okay.
Difficulty 4. What spheres do you have?
I have 3 in enlightenment.
Right, but which spheres do you know?
Life, prime, and mind.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, give me a enlightenment difficulty 4.
Okay.
Difficulty.
I got 1 success.
Excellent. As you're examining the blood, I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, I was
Agent
reaffirming the difficulty was 4.
Yep. As you're examining the blood, it occurs to you that this has like a metallic matter in it, like that has absorptive and reflective properties against primal energy. Gaston says to you, Agent Green, I have concerns. My premium countermeasures are operating at 87%.
Slater.
86%. He starts to stumble forward.
Tell that to the doctor.
He looks at you and says, Doctor, and you see his eyeball start to melt. And what, as near as you can tell, looks like liquid metal start pouring down his cheek. He says, I strongly suggest you run.
I'm not running. Agent Johnson.
Yeah, Agent Johnson, what have you been doing while all this is going on?
Wait, Johnson.
There is a back and forth of watching this. This is above my pay grade. But when Gaston says you should leave. Quick question for Abby: is the doctor getting out of the wave pool?
Yes, the doctor is leaving. The doctor knows better.
Agent Green is standing on the shore of the wave pool, like with her fists clenched and her eyes sort of locked on Gaston, and she's fucking around in his mind.
Were you good? Were you just still just sort of taking in the situation?
Oh no! And now that I am sure of what is happening, the doctor is already moving. Agent Green is not moving. Agent Johnson is going to fix that and bodily. All right.
All right. So you put your hands around Agent Green's waist.
Yep. Nice big bear hug.
You're still in Gaston's mind.
Yeah, she's not resisting because she's like fucking, and she's still trying to figure out what's destroying Gaston's mind.
Gaston says, "Listen, I have total control over myself cognitively at the moment. There's an outside force that appears to be attacking my premium substructure and
I'm not
forcing it out. The chances of me surviving this are about 12%, and chances of me not being a vegetable are about 2%.
I'm not leaving you.
Aww.
I appreciate that. Looking back into the wave pool, at this point, the various things that are going on around have ushered a lot of people sort of toward the front gates. So they're kind of passing the wave pool, but they're not stopping to look a whole lot. You see Agent Wilder is pulling out a roll of what looks like yellow caution tape.
Yeah.
And starts stringing it like around the wave pool. You see areas of Gaston's skin start to pool up, almost as if like there's liquid metal running out of his pores, as he sort of continues trying to stumble out of the wave pool. His chain gun rips out of his back, and it sort of aims at the pool for a second and then falls off.
Wow, that's...
There's no way to save Gaston?
Do you want to stay to find out?
So I have a fun question about Nard of timing. Is this happening immediately after or before?
This is
we left
happening
the Great Enough-Snee?
as you're driving out, right? So you're about to pull up as all this is going on. But before you do, how much paradox is sitting in that area right now?
So
1 second.
Which area?
In the near the wave pool. Do you have any paradox right now, Agent Green?
Nope.
Do you have any paradox?
I might have one.
All right. So that's.
I don't know. I don't remember if you said that I was getting paradox for breaking into Gaston's mind.
No, it was not. You got one from doing a vulgar without witnesses cast. That's right.
Yes, I have one.
Do.
The silence. It is deafening.
Well, the bright side, you can all reduce your paradox to 0.
That's the bright side.
Oh no.
Agent Higa, Marks, you pull up and you see that they're sort of ushering people out in a bit of a hurried fashion. What would you like to do?
So can I retroactively have called them to find out what was with all the screaming?
Yes. Agent Johnson, your phone starts ringing.
Not a great time.
What would you like to ask?
Want a plasma cannon?
Excuse me, what?
Do you need a plasma cannon?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Potentially, yes.
How many med kits do you think you need?
I'm not a doctor.
I'll get a lot.
Yeah, there's the juggling like Agent Green. Actually, he's got 4 strength. Yeah, one Agent Green, one phone. Not the time for this discussion.
She is comatose, and you are relatively distracted as you are on the phone with one hand, carrying Agent Green under the arm with the other,
Fireman
who is basically comatose. And your awareness is suddenly brought back to your surroundings in sharp relief as you feel a crack of a baseball bat cross the bridge of your nose, and you suffer 3 points of bashing damage that you may not soak. You need to make a willpower roll, Agent Green, to see if your concentration is broken enough to bring you back to what you're
And this
currently
is
aware
permanent
of.
willpower, right?
Yeah, permanent willpower.
What's the difficulty?
6.
4 successes.
All right, you're able to ignore the physical stimulus if you want to, or you can.
Yep.
All right, so you're staying in Gaston's mind. You feel like a slight jarring to your body, but you're able to ignore it. Did you need assistance finding something, Agent Johnson?
I
looking very-
look and I'm figuring it out.
Very intently at your character sheet. You hit the ground and look up, and you see there are 4 people walking up toward the wave pool. Each of them is carrying a baseball bat. They're each wearing a black baseball uniform with white pinstripes on it. Half of their body is black, like a negative photo, not like natural flesh. And the other half is white, like a solarized photo. And they do have a slight glow coming off of both sides. On the backs of the jerseys of the 3 that you see walk past you, you see it says Reality 00.
I love it.
And the one who is now standing above you is spinning the baseball bat and brings it back up into a swinging position. Like your head's a T-ball, kind of.
Sure.
And now you hear as you're on the phone pulling into the parking lot, you hear like conversation, patang, a very specific noise of an aluminum bat bouncing off of the bridge of a human nose. It's it has a very distinct sort of twang to it. And Doctor, as you are rushing to the edge of the wave pool, you see 3 of these baseball players sort of beelining directly towards you and Gaston and David.
Well, I feel like I would try to warn them to go the opposite direction, like run with me. Don't run past me, because that would be a bad idea.
As you try to reach out to them, it's almost as if they don't even notice you on approach. They just continue walking. Let's go
Should
ahead.
I scream like a black woman?
I mean, you're welcome to. It doesn't. It's almost as if they don't notice you. It's almost as
Am
if.
I invisible? Like typical. Especially at night. Damn it.
2 of them wade fully into the pool. One of them walks over and takes a swing at Agent Wilder. Let's have initiatives real quick. A D10 plus your dex plus wits.
D10 plus wits
Dex
plus
plus wit.
Yep.
Dex.
dex. Okay. God. People are
I love rolling initiative.
And that does include Marks and Higa, if I wasn't clear on that. Please put your initiatives into chat.
No, we're no.
And what's the difficulty?
No, it's a
No
total.
difficulty.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it
oh my
does
God,
include
the
you.
total?
You're there, basically. Or pulling up
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm there.
So yeah, definitely get Marks and Higa too, because you're close enough now to affect the outcome. All right, so surprisingly, Agent Johnson has outrolled reality. So what would you?
Okay. Melee weapons? Listen, kid. Because I can't use Agent Allison as a blunt
Pat?
instrument. I'm going to set her to the side.
Why not?
I'm Okay, well, I'm gonna get really, really creative here, just out of curiosity. So, all triggers locked is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that with, say,
Yeah.
baseball bats?
Sure.
Because I want to play this man like a drum set.
Yes, you can. I'm going to give you a wits and esoterica, occult, or cosmology.
Oh, good. That's one I do have.
I help.
I
I appreciate it.
What is the difficulty?
6.
You know, we're gonna put a willpower in this. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it sounds like willpower would be appropriate.
Sure.
Oh, I'm okay with that. So 1 success on the die roll plus the 1 from the willpower.
Statistically speaking, chances are extremely good that these are paradox manifestations.
Mm-hmm.
And so the literal worst thing you could do right now is use a vulgar effect.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Aw.
I mean, there's a little part of it because I'm over here looking at Agent Johnson and his 1 intelligence.
I mean, I'm
But
just
I don't
saying.
think it's- Oh yeah.
I don't think he's that dumb.
Right. But that's fine. With that in mind, I still have my finger guns. And I don't know what the rules are for firing finger guns in melee. But I mean, I feel like I could just push forward here and zap this guy.
Dex energy weapons, difficulty 5.
Cool. That's, just 9 dice. That's so many dice. 5 successes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what's the enlightenment of the finger guns?
I had that pulled up and everything. It's a enlightenment of 2.
Go ahead and roll that real quick.
Okay. Now
difficulty is going to be 8.
Okay. And I
use,
have to use the enlightenment of the device, not my own, right?
Correct. And you automatically take 2 points paradox when you use it.
Oh, nice.
So what if I botch?
Excellent. So then that's 6 points of paradox in total.
Cool.
So you fire off the finger guns, right? And they hit this dude and he just explodes. And then, as if somebody had hit the rewind button on reality, slaps back together. And you see, looks like maybe he did some push-ups while he was down.
Oh no!
You know what would be fucking great is if we had a hit mark right now.
You're the one who put him in the pool!
David put him in the pool. I was gonna go in the pool.
Yeah, he swells considerably. And kicks you in your tummy.
Sure.
You take 5 points of bashing damage. Unsoakable. Your paradox reduces to 0.
Oh, okay, well that's at least I got something out of it. So yeah, now I do have a question. Should I stack enough bashing damage up, it starts to upgrade to lethal?
That is correct.
Okay.
So you feel your ribs go. And Doc, you see when this dude, first of all, you see this dude explode and then reform. So that's a little weird. But then when he kicks Agent Johnson, you 30 feet away at the edge of the wave pool can hear his ribs break. Over the panicked crowd. It's it's disconcerting and slightly nauseating, the sound that happens when that kick lands. And Johnson lands and
rolls over to your feet effectively.
So
so obviously I'm in a dream. Happening.
So you're in a dream with magical powers.
I might have gotten knocked out at some point, and obviously I'm seeing my teammate here on the ground. So I feel like in my dream, I would definitely go and try to take care of Agent Johnson.
All right, we'll get to that in 1 second. Johnson, you had a question.
Yeah. So I noticed that there are dice penalties as my thing goes down here, and then in cap doesn't have a dice penalty. Do I need to put health damage markers in cap, or is that?
So there's a couple different ways that I've seen this done throughout time, and I'm sure it's somewhere in the Mage 20 book, but I'm not going to dig for it at the moment. What I normally do is I have you drop all the way down to crippled and then come back up and go back down with lethal before you go to in cap.
Okay.
Just because in cap technically means you can't do anything unless you spend a willpower point.
Cool.
So yeah, you're just going to be at -5. So you're fucked up. Wasn't fun, but you can still kind of breathe and move, sort of.
It just hurts a lot.
One of them goes to hit David with the bat, but then fakes it and slaps him across the face, basically. and two of them make their way into the pool, one grabbing Gaston on either side. That brings us then to Marks. As you pull into the parking lot, you can see through the fencing roughly what's going on here.
Okay. Can I drive the car into the Paradox Spirit?
There's a fence in the way. You can try. You can give it a
What
shot.
kind of fence is it?
Right,
It
define
is.
fence.
It is a metal fence.
Is that metal slats or metal links or
Like
Yeah,
metal
it's like
slats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're not like, I mean, this is more decorative than it is security based, you know what I mean? So
Okay, so
It's-
making a quick estimation to make sure there's nobody who matters in the way, and by matters I don't necessarily mean bystanders. I'm gonna floor it and smash the car into the baseball bat guy.
excellent. And you are driving a Spectre, so it does have some extra whiz bang.
Dexterity plus drive.
That is correct. Yes. And Agent Higa, give me a perception technology roll real quick. Did you botch?
No,
Oh, good. I was like, hang on.
no. I got 3 successes, 2 of them 10s, and with my specialty of fast.
Love it. Love it.
So
Four
let's reroll
successes.
those. That'd be 4 successes, 5 successes.
Excellent. So you
5
slam on
successes with a Spectre limousine at full speed.
you slam on the gas as you're making your way toward the fencing. Agent Higa reaches over and flips up a little panel on the gear shift and pushes a button, and like chain guns come up and cut you a path to go through, like the Batmobile in Tim Burton's Batman. And you just go barreling straight past the semi-conscious Agent Green on the ground, right by the doctor, who I hope and assume has enough presence of mind to yank Agent Johnson out of the way. As you go down into the wave pool, you catch like some Bo Duke air, like as you're getting to the edge of the wave pool,
Smash.
and sort of come down on it. The bad news is you're
No, she doesn't.
the bad news is you're going to have to explain the loss of a Spectre limo. But the good news is the Paradox spirits appear to be gone from the pool at the moment, and Gaston is now in the back seat of the car.
Oh, now that's
As he
interesting.
came
Like
up
phased
through
the.
Oh, he didn't phase. Like he's got like a piece of the floorboard on the top of his head, like Dino in the opening of the Flintstones cartoon. Like he just stuck his head through, and his eyes are a little crossed, and he's sort of woozy.
Melting.
But that seems to have had at least a temporary alleviation of the situation. And that brings us to the good doctor. What would you like to do, Doc? Do we have you, Abby?
Doctor? Your mic's
Oh
muted.
yeah, sorry, I was muted.
Yep. Your turn. What would you like to do?
So I'm gonna heal Agent Johnson. 'Cause,
Excellent.
You know, my dream, everything's vivid in there, especially like the sounds of cracked ribs and stuff. So I'm gonna my quick wits obviously took him out of the way as I saw Mark's floating across from my face ever so slowly, like in slow motion. So I'm gonna use my medical kit to help Johnson, just because yeah, he doesn't look like he's doing too good right now.
That's fair. Go ahead and give me an intelligence medicine roll.
Sure. Okay. Oh. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
All right, you can reduce your bashing by 3 if that takes care of your bashing. And there's how many bashing do you have left? I guess
We're bashing.
4 bashing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
wait,
So you can reduce your bashing by 3 then.
I made a boo-boo.
What's up?
I have a 0, so I'm assuming
That's a 10.
It's a 10.
So it's 4.
Oh, excellent. So you can heal all your
Oops.
bashing. Your lethal's not going to do yet. So, but she sort of wraps up your ribs, and you're pretty sure you can kind of move. Things, hard things are only grinding on soft things a little bit when you try to sit up.
Sure, that's fine.
I tried my best.
I am engineered for this.
Agent Higa, anything you would like to do?
Well, gonna try to get a wireless, call entirely hands-free to make another requisition while I crawl into the back seat and start working on Gaston, because there is no way that he looks remotely okay to me.
He's as you crawl into the back seat, you hear premium countermeasures operating 42%, and he's like shaking a little bit.
No.
Vaguely reminiscent of like when Magneto lost his shit at Wolverine is kind of what he looks like right now. Like there's premium pieces sticking out of him that have solidified at this point. So I guess make your requisitions roll right now.
Okay. I'm looking for either a NIMBY device or a plasma cannon and a ton of med kits.
All right.
What do you want for the difficulty?
Difficulty 8.
Okay. 2.
Emergency deployment activated.
All right.
Agent Green,
Hi.
you're in
So
Gaston's.
I'm currently inside Hitmark's mind still.
Yes.
But the nice thing about Hitmark C is a Hitmark has connections to the Technocracy. And
Yes.
I have a backup of 3.
Okay.
I would like to summon emergency backup, please.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a backup roll. So you're using difficulty 6.
Okay.
You're using Gaston's connection to
Yeah.
lock into him. All right.
3 successes.
Excellent. Agents are being deployed. As you're going through that routine, you and Gaston are sitting inside of what, as near as you can tell, is a giant pocket watch.
Mhm.
Everything is moving with absolute precision. It's completely antiseptic in here, very clean and clear.
What's this?
This is my safe spot. It was created for me by the doctors when I was first being programmed, when I would get frightened. Because, thank you. I don't think I can hold these things off much longer.
That's fine. I'll take care of them.
They want me to tell you something.
That's
But-
fine. I'll take care of them.
Do you want their message?
Yes.
They said they will let everyone go if you just come home.
I am home.
They disagree, and their disagreement hurts.
Well, I don't know who they are, so if they want to talk, they can let you and the rest of the team go, and we can have a little chat. But I am not going anywhere. I'd be happy to negotiate. I am a trained New World Order negotiator.
The one stepping outside of the mind, as you're all sort of looking around, Drew, at the top of your turn, you sort of sit up. Again, things sort of grinding and crunching. And you see what appears to be a rocket coming toward you.
Does this look like a mutual rocket? I'm not afraid of mutual rockets.
Yeah, it says courtesy courtesy iteration X or courtesy Q division on the side. So.
Hello, present.
Yeah,
the paradox
Merry
spirits,
Christmas.
are they still around?
there's the one still.
Okay.
The two that got crushed seem to have disappeared, and the one that slapped the boss seems to have disappeared. The one that hit you is walking in your direction right now. And yeah, it lands in the ground next to you, and a energy cannon like drops out into your hands.
And everybody hears the Legend of Zelda. Da 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 da. Roll. Yes. I'm a roll over and pick this thing up and like just pull the trigger. I'm not familiar with this model, but the finger goes in the thing and you just pull the trigger. We're gonna see what happens.
Oh, techno magic versus a paradox spirit. This is going to be awesome.
Yep.
Go ahead and
let's do it.
go ahead and roll. Roll 4 dice for the enlightenment of the device. Difficulty 9.
All right.
Don't fuck up.
That is in fact not a fuck up. That is 2 successes.
Excellent. You take 2 paradox and fire. Go ahead and roll your dex energy weapons.
See, I like doing it in this order much better. And the difficulty on this is 6.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's 6 successes.
Excellent. It dissipates, and this time does not come back together.
And stay out.
You probably just took out half the water park with it too.
Right, like probably don't look too far into the background.
That's a concern for later.
Collateral damage.
That's future Johnson's problem.
The Gaston opens his eyes and looks at you and says, "Higa, we have to leave."
So, the limousine is still in the pool.
Yes.
Okay, can I drive it out of the pool?
Yes, but only at about 5 miles an hour.
Okay. I'm going to drive it out of the pool while Higa is tending to
Faster than pushing it.
Yeah, it's still kicking, but barely. He says, Agent Green has asked us all to leave.
I mean, that seems reasonable.
not without her.
She is
Obviously.
negotiating with the pool.
She's negotiating with the pool.
Yes.
Why is she negotiating with the pool, and what in the pool is she negotiating with?
I'm pretty sure it's an extra dimensional entity. It claimed to want her, not us.
How does one negotiate with an extra dimensional entity that is in a pool? I say as I'm trying to drive the car out of the pool.
I feel like Agent Johnson might have the answer to that question. It might be in his hands right now. I'm pretty sure it is.
Gaston,
In the meantime, hold
what are
still,
the terms?
Gaston.
Yeah, yes, Gaston. What are the terms? What are the terms they're trying to negotiate under?
I have no idea. I just know that as it was flaying portions of my consciousness, it said that it wanted her to come home.
That's
Interesting.
ridiculous. Her home is one floor above mine.
I said as I'm trying to drive the limousine out of the pool.
He goes gonna do a matter procedure, and if I need to spend
Primal energy.
primal energy for it, or
Quintessence.
whatever the mutual quintessence is, then I'll do that. But I'm looking to repair Gaston a bit.
Sure. You're not going to be able to do much about the premium because that would be a matter 5 thing you would need to be able to smelt. But all of his non-premium parts you can certainly start working on. So yeah, go ahead and give me an enlightenment roll. Be difficulty 7.
Okay.
How much primal energy are you spending?
He looks pretty fucked up, and he said that he was at 40-something%.
Yeah.
That's
2.
I'll spend 3.
That's your difficulty will be 4.
I like Gaston. And my audio cut out while you were naming the. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Difficulty 4.
And I'll spend a willpower on this.
Excellent.
3 successes.
Beautiful. So as you're slapping things back together, you know enough to know that this shouldn't go this smoothly. So he is definitely in pretty bad shape in terms of his counter procedures. Because you would have expected to run into a whole lot of resistance slapping things back together. And as you're moving, you're like, oh, this is all moving. This is way too loose. Like nothing is tightened down here.
Hit marks are not supposed to be this easy to work with.
Right, yeah. So, bad stuff. As you're backing out, and Doc, you're sort of getting Johnson to his feet. You still see Agent Green is laying on the side of the wave pool. Still in a communion. Is that correct, Agent Green?
What?
Still in like a mental communion?
Yeah.
You back
I'm in mental communion until I can negotiate with this thing.
you back the car to the edge of the wave pool and you see Agent Green laying on the ground, seemingly relatively peacefully. And you see managing agent in charge Wilder pull out his sidearm and point it directly at Agent Green's head. And that's where we will call game for this week.
No, that's not okay.
Oh, trust me. Like Agent Johnson is going to be torn next week.
That is not okay.
Like not okay as in you're actually okay with it, or not okay as in X card not okay with it.
No, I mean it's like that's not. You can't end it like that.
That's awesome.
Game of Thrones. Jesus.
Gotta end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we gotta give everybody a reason to want to come back next week.
Oh my gosh.
So, just a couple of quick things. We went a little bit longer than I anticipated, so I apologize. I just want to remind everybody that Technocracy Reloaded is still on Kickstarter, but won't be when we return next week. So you want to make sure you grab it now. There's only 38 hours left, and we are, it looks like about $3,000 or so away from unlocking the 4th novella stretch goal.
Do we have any word yet as to who's working on those novellas?
I don't. My understanding is that those will McElroy has a list that he will then be referencing once we know how many we're getting. He'll be reaching out to at that point. So we do not know yet. We will obviously be keeping people posted as much as we can with regards to that. But so I guess the biggest thing I can say is go back it if you haven't. If you have. Maybe pick up a storyteller screen if you haven't yet, boost that total up a little bit and help us unlock more things so we can get more Technocracy stuff for you. All the stuff.
Let's see. What are we at right now?
177,071.
77. So
Wow.
come on, we come on, folks. We know we got 2 more days. We can make this break 200,000.
I sure
yeah.
hope so. Fingers crossed. Please spread the word.
200,000.
That would be. My mind would be blown.
Do it.
So, does anyone have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns apart from having a cliffhanger? There's just nothing that can be done about that.
Because you just had to put that in there.
Right, absolutely did. You're contractually obligated.
I love your baseball furies.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Terrifying.
Thank you,
The best
Mary.
thing about playing this and being like, I don't know what these are. Is that they're swinging baseball bats. They must be bad guys. Oh, don't do a vulgar thing. What?
Well, and the cool thing about it too is like, not to go too tangentially, but you can use the paradox effect, right? They don't have to roll to hit you. This is just paradox. This is just the way it's looking, right? So, so it makes for cool narrative stuff. But having said that, I'm gonna again remind you that you should be backing Technocracy Reloaded if you haven't yet. And I'm going to just real quick have everybody give us your name, your pronouns, who you're playing, their pronouns. And while we're doing that, I'm going to paste these handy dandy collection of links that we've got for each of us. So we can do a wrap up in just like minutes instead of 30 of them. So let's start off, if you don't mind, with, let's start off with Abby. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, and I will post your links in our chat, please. And your pronouns, please.
Thank you. My name is Abby Ekenezer. My pronouns are she, her, they, them. I play Malia Taloon, who is the doctor of the group, who makes sure that the weird is justified in dreams, and there's no such things as monsters or aliens. So things that I'm currently working on, I just finally finished I finished the edits for my story that I sent to the editor yesterday. So hopefully when that comes out soon, it'll be a part of a whole anthology series.
Congratulations, that's awesome. And definitely check out Abby's links to keep an eye on those as they come loose. Next up, I'm really going in the order that I have these on my email. Sater, tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, who you're playing, and please check out the links I just posted in chat, folks.
Thank you. Sodaros Filbrucato, aka that damn mage guy. I am he, him, they, them. I am playing Agent Marks. That's she, her. And I have just released Mage Made Easy, advice from that damn mage guy on the Storyteller's Vault, and preparing to release my non-mage novel Red Shoes, an urban fantasy book which will be coming out very shortly.
Excellent. And you can get previews of Red Shoes on Sater's Patreon, which is among the links that I have just shared for him. Thank you so much, Sater. Next up, Drew. Agent Johnson, give us your perts.
I mean, you just no. Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm Drew Kindorf. He, him. I'm playing Agent Johnson. He, him. I know. He is the, obviously the brains of the group. God bless Agent Higa delivering a plasma cannon. And you can see me Fridays for Occultist Anonymous playing the other mage game.
Excellent. And Agent Higa.
Hi, I'm Hiromi Kota, they, them. I am playing Agent Toshiko Higa, who is she, her. I write queer genre fiction, mainly sci-fi and fantasy. You can find a bunch of books on my Amazon page. You can also follow what I'm doing on my Twitter and the website. And I am also in this very channel on Saturdays for Scarred Lands, where I still play a character who's driven by data, except she's a 5'6" lizard or snake
It-
girl.
Different data sets, different data points that she
Very
pulls from.
different data.
Forgive me, I can't find your links, so if you can drop those in chat, that would just be
Already got
amazing.
it.
While I ask Jax to please share Agent Green's pertinent details with the audience at home.
Oh boy. Hi, I'm Jacqueline Jax Brick. My pronouns are she, her. I play possibly soon to be ex-agent Allison Green, whose pronouns are she, her, and she is way in over her head right now. And we're about to find out something interesting about Agent Green next episode, so please come back and find out what that is.
A couple of interesting things, in fact. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And last but most certainly not least, I have had the privilege of being your storyteller. My name is Travis, pronouns he, him. When I'm not doing this, I'm doing it elsewhere, or elsewhere on this channel, elsewhere on my own channel. I have a bunch of links right here, and when I'm also the, aside from my work on Mage, I'm the line developer for Scarredlands, so please go buy all the Scarredlands things. New stuff out this Wednesday at DriveThruRPG. If you have not yet done so, please, 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 pretty please with sugar on top, back Technocracy Reloaded so we can make more cool Technocracy stuff. And we will see you next week for the final episode of this stream. And we'll be kicking off a new Kickstarter as well. So check that out, and we'll be talking about that a little bit during next episode as well. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Much love. Great night tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Seeing you.
Thank you
Wash
so
your
much.
hands. Mask up.
Wear your masks.
Please
The doctor
stay
said.
1 hit mark away